Capture handcuffs and heart, final resolution and the enduring spirit of Lucy. I have always felt that the final movement of this composite script returns us with quiet inevitability to the essential Lucy Carmichael, a woman who can turn even a successful police operation into a story about handcuffs, borrowed dresses, and the stubborn persistence of hope. The real green scarf Louis is taken into custody. The overlapping disguises are sorted. The mink and the diamonds return to their status as departmental property. And yet the image that lingers is not the clean efficiency of the arrest but Lucy still fastened to the steering wheel of her own car. The physical proof that her ingenuity has once again outpaced her foresight. Every time I reach this closing sequence I feel a deep familiar tenderness. The series does not allow her a tidy professional triumph. It allows her something more characteristic, a messy, hard-won, slightly undignified victory that nevertheless leaves her standing. Detective Baker's decision to credit her with the arrest is generous and slightly wary. He has seen her at her most useful and her most exhausting. The acknowledgement matters to her more than she will directly admit. In the mid-1960s, a woman in a police uniform was already an exception. A woman who had actively complicated a stakeout and still emerged with official credit was something rarer still. Ball plays Lucy's pleasure with restraint. There is no gloating. There is only the quiet satisfaction of someone who has been told, however provisionally, that her presence made a difference. The invitation to the policeman's ball arrives like a coda. Baker's bowling night is free, he has an extra ticket. The offer is casual, almost offhand and therefore more touching. Lucy accepts with the particular brightness she reserves for moments when the world briefly aligns with her desire to be included. Viv's final commentary cuts the moment down to size in the way only she can. The feather in Lucy's cap, she observes, will match the feather in her brain. The insult is old, affectionate and perfectly timed. It returns us to the baseline of their friendship, the refusal to let either woman float too far on her own mythology. I have always cherished these small corrective gestures. They are the series' way of keeping Lucy human. She can capture a bandit, survive a kitchen collapse, wear a fortune in stretch pants, and still be told by her closest friend that her judgment remains questionable. The love is in the refusal to idealize. Looking back across the entire composite script, what still moves me most is the consistency of Lucy's spirit under every variety of pressure. The rent crisis, the charming boarders, the mattress full of stolen money, the stretch pants vault, the camp kitchen apocalypse, the meter maid overreach, the lover's lane stakeout. Each episode, fragment demands a different skill and exposes a different vulnerability. Yet the woman at the center remains unmistakably herself. She meets financial desperation with invention. She meets criminal elegance with chaotic hospitality. She meets institutional authority with a ticket book and an unshakable belief in her own procedural correctness. She meets the demand for undercover romance with the same absolute sincerity she once brought to scrambling 200 eggs. The through line is not competence. It is refusal. Refusal to be defeated by scarcity, by embarrassment, by the reasonable limits of her own abilities. In my private viewing history, these episodes have always functioned as a kind of emotional repertoire. When I have needed laughter that did not require cruelty, I have returned to them. When I have needed a portrait of female friendship that could absorb jealousy, suspicion, and temporary betrayal without shattering, I have returned to them. When I have needed to remember that physical comedy can carry genuine stakes, maternal love, economic survival, the desire to be taken seriously, I have returned to them. Lucille Ball's great gift was never simply that she could fall down or make a face. It was that she could fall down and make a face while still convincing you that the fall mattered to the woman doing the falling. The 1960s setting has not dated the material so much as framed it. The World's Fair, the Beatles records the meter-maid uniform, the formal language of the bank and the courtroom. All of it anchors the comedy in a specific historical texture without ever trapping it there. What remains contemporary is the emotional physics, the way money pressures intimacy. The way official power both tempts and corrupts ordinary people. The way two women can wound each other and still choose, again and again, to remain on the same side of the problem. Those physics have not changed. Ball's embodiment of them remains for me definitive. I think often of the smallest through lines. The way Lucy's voice brightens when she believes she has solved something. The way Viv's skepticism functions as both brake and safety net. The way Mr. Brakendiv, Mooney's rigid dignity is repeatedly forced to accommodate the disorder she generates. These relationships are the true continuity of the series. Plots come and go, bank robberies, camp jobs, stakeouts, but the emotional contracts between the characters persist. That persistence is what allows the composite script to feel like a single extended portrait rather than a collection of fragments. As the final moments settle, Lucy is once again between roles. The badge has been both blessing and complication. The arrest has been credited. The ball invitation has been extended. Tomorrow will bring some new impossibility, another shortage, another scheme, another chance to turn her body and her imagination into solutions they were never designed to provide. She will meet it the way she has met every previous demand, with radiance that refuses to acknowledge its own improbability. I have loved that radiance for a lifetime. I love it still. In the end, the enduring spirit of Lucy is not that she wins. It is that she continues. Handcuffed to a steering wheel or standing in a ruined kitchen or wearing a fortune in poorly secured bills, she continues. The world remains intractable, friendship remains necessary, laughter remains possible, and somewhere in the middle of it all Lucille Ball keeps finding new ways to make the intractable look like an invitation. That is the gift these episodes still give me. That is why, after all these years and all these viewings, I remain grateful to have been in the audience.